Hi there, this is a high standard Dura-Matic model M101 from High Standard. And this is a very sort of utilitarian, sort of good looking, good functioning 22. This was sort of the budget version of some of their higher end stuff. This was made at a lower price point and for quite a bit less money. I don't know how much it went for originally, but it's nicely, you know, it's blued steel, but it's brushed. It's not, I mean, it's not polished very highly. The barrel securing system is a rotary knob, which kind of looks goofy in my opinion, rather than the really functional, cool, quick release button, spring-loaded button, which is some of the other high standard pistols have to change barrels. I only have one barrel for this, so it doesn't really matter, but and it's got a very, you know, the old style extreme grip angle, like the Luger style, but it actually fits quite comfortably in the hand. This is the original brown plastic grips, and there's no the slide doesn't lock back after the last shot, but you can secure the slide to the rear with the safety button for cleaning or just for safety reasons or to clear malfunction or whatever. And you can use that as a sort of to release the slide. After you reload, you can push that in. And it is a striker fired pistol. There's a sort of a cocking indicator there. And let's give it a few shots. I have one original magazine for it, which are kind of expensive side. They're not to the point that some of the other ones are, but they're not cheap. And I also have one aftermarket one, which may or may not work. I think this is by Triple K. So let's give it a few shots. That's the problem with these, is the magazine is secured by this little notch on the left hand side, and if the spring gets loose or the notch starts to round out, the magazine falls out. Mine, as you can see, is having issues. You just pull it out with your finger. That was a misfire. Let's try this aftermarket one. Maybe I need a new striker spring. There's your problem with the aftermarkets. Double feed. So we can use the safety to lock to the rear. The magazine release is right here, which is not convenient for your right thumb. So you have to use your left thumb. And it's not the best system. See if that's it. Yep. Hey. See if this will go off. Maybe it's the ammo. Let's try something else. Alright, that first set was Federal Champion. Let's try some Remington Golden Bullets. This is the aftermarket magazine. That may have been a bad round. Doesn't like these. Okay. Let's try the factory magazine. So I didn't even have to push the magazine release button to pull that out. Just pull my finger. So I gotta. What am I gonna do? Magazines are too expensive these days. Let's try this piece of crap again. I don't know what that has to do with the magazine because it's the same ammunition, but it won't chamber with the. Maybe it's grinding on the top of the feed lips or something. Alright, well, no point in continuing with this. So, save your pennies and buy factory mags, I suppose. Maybe we can find a round that it likes. I've never had any issues with this before. I put it on camera, of course, but I've primarily shot the factory magazine, which is getting a little bit slightly rounded off on the bottom edge, but maybe I'll replace I need to replace the striker spring, obviously, and I might want to replace the magazine release spring. Oh well, can't win them all. Here's another issue that may have been contributing to my problems, is that you just saw me shoot maybe, 35 or so rounds. This barrel is already loose. I could feel it rattling, and I had it as tight as I could get it with I use a quarter on these little notches, or a coin, and tighten it as tight as I can. I'm going to start putting some like blue Loctite on this, I think.